Hello, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa of the Golden Rays Center and the Rosewheel Mystery School. And I'm super excited to let you know that I have my creative energies for October 2023 journal complete and ready to go. Oh my goodness, it's just an incredible month. So I'm going to just share with you here the slide that I have on the 5 major events this month in terms of cosmic events. And of course, as usual, I talk about the events related to Mars, Venus, and Mercury, and now the Sun, because we're doing this Leo goddess journey with the Venus Synodic Cycle, Leo being ruled by the Sun. So I talk about all of that, and I go into much more depth on these 5 major events. And so it's a 2-hour video. There is a lot of information in it. And I talk specifically about the fact that because we are on this new eclipse series, eclipses happening on the Aries Libra axis, the path of conscious equal partnership, that Mercury and Mars as personal planets like Venus have made it known to me that they have a conscious partnership between the 3 of them, and that they would like to come onto center stage in the spotlight with Venus. And so I will now be including information in my monthly overview journals related to the Mars Synodic Cycle events and the Mercury Synodic Cycle events, in addition to the Venus Synodic Cycle events, which are aligned with the Galactic New Earth Project. And this month, October, we start off with a bang on October 1st, where Mars surrenders to the underworld. And in the Mars Synodic Cycle, there are 6 phases. They are numbered phases 0 through 5. And so this October 1st event initiates this phase 3. I talk a lot about what are the astrological signs in the heavens that indicate that this phase is being initiated. I also talk about the other astrological events of this phase. Then, of course, we have on October 10th, the Venus gate activation at the 3rd eye chakra, known as the portal of perception. This is where the 15th strand of DNA activation is coming online. My tier 3 members of my Patreon account are intimately and integrally involved in the conscious journey of this Galactic New Earth Project and this Leo Divine Royalty Goddess cycle that will be happening over the next 19 months. We invite you to be a participant by joining my Patreon account at tier 2, where you can see these teachings related to these activations on the replay. And just a heads up that we will be doing the Venus gathering for this activation that's happening on Tuesday. Today's October 8th, Sunday. This will be happening, the event, the actual event in the sky will be happening on Tuesday in 2 days, but we will be doing the actual gathering around this event on Sunday, October 15th. So I encourage you to go ahead and sign up as a tier 2 member of Patreon so that you can get the wealth of information that will be available through those replays of that entire 19-month journey and this whole next part of the Galactic New Earth Project. Now, the other two events that we have this month that are related to each other, and I go in depth by showing you the charts and discuss how they are related to each other, is the solar eclipse that's happening on October 14th. It's a ring of fire solar eclipse. I provide an image so that you can see what that ring of fire solar eclipse will look like. I also have the chart on the October 28th lunar eclipse in Taurus. Now, just to remind you, whenever there is a solar eclipse, it always happens at a new moon. Whenever there is a lunar eclipse, it always happens at a full moon. Notice that these are happening on two different axes. So the October 14th eclipse is going to be the second of 6 eclipses of this new eclipse season happening on the Aries Libra axis, which is the path of conscious equal partnership. I discuss that in depth in all of my video journals that I put on Patreon that you can have access to as a tier 1 member. And then this last, this October 8th eclipse that's happening in Taurus is the last and final, right? The 7th and final eclipse of the Taurus Scorpio eclipse season that we've had for the past 2.5 years. This is a huge event. And like I said, eclipses come in pairs of 2 within 2 weeks of each other. And even though these are on separate axes, they are absolutely integral to each other, connected to each other. And I discuss that in depth within the full video journal. And then finally, this month, we are having a superior conjunction. This is the first event of 4 astrological events in the Mercury Synodic Cycle. It's this superior conjunction where Mercury and Sun come together above the horizon. That's why it's called a superior conjunction, initiating this last synodic cycle of the Earth elemental year. This synodic cycle will be, for Mercury, will be in Capricorn. So I go into a lot of explanation as to why it is that this is happening in an air element as opposed to a water element, which is really the exception to the rule. But that'll be happening on October 20th. So I really do encourage you to join us over on Patreon to get the full benefit of all of the wisdom that I share within these video journals around these different aspects in the sky in terms of how we as a humanity are being evolved forward, how we as individuals are being evolved through our ascension paths. And remember, this is the thing about eclipses. They bring us back into alignment with our evolutionary path. So they are highly significant. Unlike your regular moon events, which have a window of a week, 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, eclipses have windows of 6 months, 6 months before, 6 months after. So it's really important to understand what's happening at these 2 eclipses this month so that you can recognize when those effects of how you are being personally evolved through your ascension are starting to show up in your external reality. So thank you for watching this quick introduction to this new October journal, and I hope to see you over on Patreon. Thank you so very, very much. Have a great month, and I'll see you in my next journal. Bye-bye.